They told me you can't do that here, Beanie. It might sound good in one of your books, but this is a construction site. You can't build a learning environment here. But I didn't start with a touchy-feely feel-good program or some poster. It started with a shelf. One shelf, a few books, a marble, a cricket ball, and a football. That's how you build a learning environment. Not with noise, but with signals. Signals that say, we improve here and we think here. We actually give a about getting better together. Human beings don't just need motivation. They need a purpose, autonomy, and a shot at mastery. When you build that into your environment, your team will grow and they will improve. And what happens next is they start to own the change with you. You want to build your culture? Start with a shelf.
You want to build your culture? You do definitely start with a shelf. That's the way that I do it. All right, $1 million question. This got asked yesterday. Wednesday in our sequence is an engage, spark conversation, share behind the scenes, origin stories or insight. Ask questions, run a poll and drop a bold take. I guess I'm talking. The bold take that I am dropping today is that change spreads from the bottom up, not from the top down, which is predominantly what we do. All right, here's a scenario as well. This is very relevant today. You come in, you're running a project, you've got 2 shifts running. Coming in the morning, something's happened overnight. All hell's broken loose. People run around in a flap. Your morning gets what you thought was going to look like, looks nothing like it, gets completely tipped on its head. What's the first thing that normally happens? Don't worry about the morning meeting this morning. All right, skip it. Too busy. Fatal mistake. Same with this today. I've been out doing other stuff, not prepped properly. The RAF aim for what they call flawless execution, which is they get the mission done 98% of the time, whether things stay completely on track or they never ever stay completely on track, how far off track they go, the mission gets completed. Mission is to run this live. So we're going to complete it right now. A banger bot. We're live on LinkedIn right now. Okay, so it's our Wednesday post, which is engage, spark conversation, ask a question, drop a bold take. The bold take, of course, is what you and I have already written, which is change spreads from the bottom up, not from the top down. What I need out of you is I need our accusation audit that I usually run to show the people how we do that. I don't want you to write out the complete accusation audit. Just give me a couple of key points and a couple of words to each one, and I'll add a little bit from there. Okay, do that. Give me a pinned comment, not one for during the live. I'm using have you run ORCA with your project team yet? Is a pinned comment that I'm asking while we're actually live, but give me a pinned comment to throw on LinkedIn once this live is complete. Any other context you need from me around what you need to do? So accusation audit is we're addressing these 4 things here. Why you would not listen to, not take on board what I'm saying. Because the solution is counterintuitive. It conflicts with a current measurement, which is keeping everyone busy. Removes our best excuses, not that we'll be able to deliver better from here going forward. I was so busy, we're going to remove that excuse. Oh shit, don't do that. And then it creates a fear of blame. If I do what Benny says that I should do, we're not busy anymore, we've got flow, and we still don't deliver, what happens then? All right, accusation audit. So that's basically, all right, one of the key things that I always talk to is you get a lot of consultants here on LinkedIn telling you how to fix the industry. There's I'm going to recommend that you read the book 2 Second Land by Paul Akers. He said, if a consultant comes to your business, he says business, just take it project, okay, organisation, whatever you want to call it, tries to take you to do everything that they want to do in the boardroom, or in the meeting room, or in the workshop room, he says run. Get rid of them. This stuff happens at the Gemba, where the work's done. You might be thinking it's easy for you to say, Benny, when you're not carrying the risk, not your project. You don't have to deliver it. Of course it's easy for you to tell us how to do it better. We've already got programs in place that do this. There's a ton of how out there. Anyone can give you how. Go to YouTube and get more how than you can ever use in your lifetime. Sounds like theory, not reality. It's because it's counterintuitive. It's not theory, I've done it in practice. Top down is the only way this scales. Top down never ever scales. Because it rarely gets to the people at the front line. And it certainly never ever gets to embedded. The way I describe it is you look at what happens in nature. If you want a tree, you plant seed, you water it, and you draw it up out of the ground. What we try to do, we change, is we grab ourselves a handful of leaves, sticks, branches, throw them up there, and go, let's hope that a tree falls down. That's literally what we are trying to do. All right, so how do we draw it up out of the ground? By the way, just saw how I use my AI as my wingman to help me run my lives with the way that he knows exactly when I say to him, I need an accusation audit for the front end of my video. Look what he did. Straight up. He knows the key points, the key things, the key pains. I'm not another consultant. It's easy to say. Already got programs for this. Sounds like theory. Top down is the only way that this scales. That'll be all the things that I would hear if I went to a site and started to implement this morning, unless I've seen my videos before, which I will have because I'm doing this on a daily basis. A lot of that I've mitigated before I've even got there. I've got through at least 1 or 2 of these barriers. Start hitting the 3rd and 4th. Halfway to having it removed before we get there. That's called marketing. Think of it, marketing is getting someone intellectually engaged in your idea, taking it on board themselves. So when you do your marketing right, you don't have to sell it. Because people have already seen it, people have already tried it. Maybe they've already run an ORCA on site themselves. Maybe they've already run the catalyst loop. This is how the catalyst loop feeds from the bottom up. Number 1, you can do this. Lets people lead without authority. Okay? Anyone can stand up at pre-start in the morning meeting, say, we identified a heap of waste yesterday, which is what we're doing when we're trying to change the industry at the moment. We're using workshops and forums and all these different things that are happening hundreds of kilometres from job sites where the work's actually done. Someone can stand up and say, yesterday we had a lot of wasted time because of X. What we've done to increase flow is Y. Anyone can stand up and do that. See the signal. Stop, fix it. Use the ORCA process. Quick GPT that will step you straight through the whole process, exactly like mine does. No different. If you really don't use technology, get a piece of paper, all right, ORCA, objective. What were we trying to do? Results, what happened? Causes, what caused those results? What actions are we going to put in place that we're going to mitigate it from happening again tomorrow? Once they've done that, everyone's never more than, most people's phones are more than that amount of distance away from them at any given time, like the end of their arm. They live sleep, eat, breathe, within arm's reach. Very rare that they can't. Actually, I should have done before we started. Let's put us on focus mode so someone doesn't try and call us in the middle of live. Take some photos, make a video. Jump on LinkedIn, do a live. Jump inside school. Share it in the school community. Spread the change. What's actually happening on site. As I say, this happens from the ground up. Doesn't happen from the top down. Too many of our programs are built on going off-site and doing workshops. People go away, get motivated, come back full of enthusiasm, and then 3, 4, 5 days later, it's all dead. A week later. 2 weeks, max, if you're lucky. The catalyst, daily loop. That is the key to it there. Daily. Not once a week, not once a month, not when we feel like it, and not we're going to skip it today because everything got turned on its head this morning. It's like, let's just stop. Stop, have a look at what went wrong. The morning meeting becomes even more important, not less, because we're running this ORCA process. What happened last night? What was the objective last night? What was supposed to happen? What results? What went wrong? What caused that to go wrong? What actions can we put in place today to set night shift up to not have that issue again tonight? Should never, ever be skipped. In fact, you should, if you've had issues, you should be double down on it. Let's do one now this morning, and then we'll do one again this afternoon before night shift comes on. Then we'll run it again with them before they start their shift. And they can do it again at the end of the shift. This can happen out in the field, out in the paddock, all night, all day. Every time someone's got an issue, stop and you fix it. Cool. All right, let's do one. Someone's getting really annoyed with what I'm doing. Every day they come on and they put a thumbs down. Which, that's all good. Still feeds the algorithm. It's supposed to make people uncomfortable. This, when you do this as well, it's not comfortable to start with. People aren't used to it. People aren't used to stopping and fixing something. Putting a hand up and going, I should have done better. It's not a natural reaction. It's going to take some time for people to get used to it. ORCA Phase 2. I realised yesterday that it was running the correct ORCA process. What had gone wrong was that no, it wasn't, because it didn't spit the... No, so let's see what it does today, actually. I'm going to reset this. Can't show you this. Oh, it's okay. Just let me get into my account first so you don't see any passwords or something like that. We're going to go back and run the ORCA process, because what we're going to do is we're going to go to drive. Alright, get rid of that. Oh. Where's our prompt? Project delivery. Big ass year. I think it was week 10 we wrote off. V9, ORCA Wingman debrief. Giving the full prompt again. See what he does. Banger bot on ORCA Phase 2. ORCA debrief request. OGA. ORCA, not OGA. So I'm probably going to have to give this a second to realign. We go back to ORCA phase 2. For some reason that one just went right off the rails yesterday. Copy, paste. Oh, where are they? Let's get the business. Day 115. You can play. Oh no. It is Wednesday, the 18th of March 2026. Time is 11:37 a.m. We're in Beanie's office. Let's put you on come walk with me mode. Yep. You're probably thinking, why has Beanie got a whistle around his neck today? Because a very important part of what we do these days should be coaching. Early in the week, Mondays and Tuesdays, I share a tip on a Monday and I show you how to use it on a Tuesday. They're teaching and showing. When I get to Wednesday, I'm starting to engage. So we need to have a different set of skills, a different way of presenting it. This way, we're engaging and nurturing and inviting. So, hence coach's whistle to remind me how I'm supposed to be presenting. Oh, let's put this back in so you can see what's going on here. What's the definition of done for action? The live published to LinkedIn and YouTube. It's asking me for the definition of done. So we can say, yes, the action's done, or no, it's not, because I'm a bit lazy. Want to write them up on the board. Definition of action 2. Handover notes completed. So I can copy and paste them, hand them off to mocks. The handover notes are completed, so I can copy and paste and hand them to mocks. M-O-X. So he said to me, because that transcription was terrible, right? Hey, that's binaries completed, so I can copy and paste and hand them off to mocks. He's going, that's not good enough. That's what people do in meetings. Talk in circles sometimes. Try and create ambiguity around what's going on. Make it ambiguous so you can't pin them down to say, have we done this or have we not? I'm not trying to do this with a blame culture. We're trying to get people to come into meetings and speaking with intent to what actually needs to happen. What is the definition of done for action 3? Have we done it? Have we not? Copy of Construction School's about page. About page published on Construction School. What was the fourth one? The about page published on Construction School. The beer page. Bear page. Action 4. Reset the prompt with version V9. Actually in the transition phase to Claude at the moment, and I'll tell you what, man, it's changing the whole game. This can take so much of this out of the process. What I have to actually do to get my LinkedIn content out, it's going to reduce the time frame probably 5x. Reset the ORCA wingman with the V9 prompt. Recorded. Published to LinkedIn. ORCA wingman handover notes not completed. Ready. Copy paste to mocks. Copy for construction school about page. About page. Published on construction school. Step 2 action review. First action. Yes. Now he's asking me, have I done them? Hot dog, not hot dog. Is it done or is it not done? If I started giving an excuse here, it would just say, is it done or is it not done? Watch this. Well, I tried to do it and the live started. I'm not really sure if it's complete. It'll say, is it done or is it not done? Yes or no? See? Yes. I think he wrote the handover notes. I'm not sure. I'm just going to have to go back to and check after this meeting to see whether he's written those handover notes or not. Ever heard something like that in a meeting? Answer yes or no. Was the action completed? Yes. Brings everyone back on track. Is it a hot dog or not a hot dog? Action recorded. Yes. What is the objective of this mission? One only. The objective of today's mission is to test run Claude creating content for next week. Test run Claude creating content for next week. Is this correct? Yes. What results did you get? Did a test run yesterday afternoon with Claude. He has produced all of the posts for every day of next week with a brief that the Banger bot provided for him. He also has done all of the thumbnails. So the next step is to upload the thumbnails to Canva and test that. Claude generate all posts for the next week using the BangerBot brief. Thumbnails for each post were created. Next step, identified, upload thumbnails to Canva and test. Is this correct? Yes. I have a very specific training that I'm following. I had a very clear picture of what I wanted it to do. I was able to leverage the work that I've already done with the BangerBot, with yourself, and with Mox, and give it a very good overview of what needed to happen. Also, Claude's got an exceptional planning function that it uses as well, which helped with the whole process. Clear training being followed, clear outcome defined before execution. Existing assets, BangerBot, Mox, prior work, used its inputs, Claude's planning capability supported structured output. Is that correct? Yes. Well, the actions on the whiteboard. Upload a photo once complete. Put you on follow me mode again. Better being a pen. So I need to run live again, which we're doing right at the moment. 18th, and that's actually 11:30 to 12. Handover notes. Yes, we need those still at the minute. We won't need those next week. Claude will do the whole lot. What's actually Claude's going to do now, this is going to even be... Oh, you weren't on follow me. What are you still doing over there? Come on, follow me. What's going to happen next week with the handover notes is Claude can actually go and read the transcript that YouTube produces on my videos. So what's happened in the past is I've had this one write a handover that goes back to Mox. Mox writes a post, give that to the BangerBot. BangerBot makes tweaks. I give it back to Mox. Mox comes back, does that again. I'm involved in this all the way to copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, right? So what's going to happen is I will run a YouTube live or one of these lives. At the end of it, I'll say to Claude, go off, pull a transcript back, write a banger post, a recap from that transcript, give it to another Claude who's going to be the BangerBot, train another one, give it to him, he'll tell you any tweaks, you just go back forward 3 or 4 times. When you've got the finished product ready to go, tell me, I'll review, then we'll post. Takes me out of the process so much more. Copy for construction school about page, that's done. Third one today is going to be 50 minutes. Learning Claude. Tell you why. 50 minutes in a minute. I'm going to take a photo of this. When he does a definition of done, I'll tell you why. Pull out 50-minute blocks. What's the definition done for action 1? The lives are published to LinkedIn and YouTube. Lives are published to LinkedIn and YouTube. Action 2. Handover notes are written for me to copy paste and hand off to Mox. Alright, so I've got 50 minutes learning Claude. The reason I put it into 50 minutes is because ever gone down a rabbit hole and found out hours later that you're still down a rabbit hole that you went down? Should always have a cut-off time. People talk about, I know a lot of people talk about, oh, getting into flow. I got into a deep flow, I was in there for hours. But what if you're in deep flow for hours and you're not on the right stuff? Okay? I'll use what's called CFT, critical focus time. I'll split it into 50-minute blocks, which is about, most people wouldn't be able to focus for that amount of time. Anyway, if you could do 3 of those in a day, 50 minutes critical focus, 20 minutes break. 50 minutes critical focus, 20 minutes break, 50 minutes critical focus. You do that, you'll be way in front of what everyone else does. You will burn through so much more work than everyone else. So learning Claude, I could spend hours on the video itself, the learning video is 10 hours. I think I've done 3 50-minute sessions so far and I've got through about 20 minutes of it. I'm not always just watching. What I am doing is then watching and doing. Okay? Very easy for me to sit there all day watching and doing if I don't give myself a lot of times to get that done in. When you give someone a task, it should never just be go off and see, when can you get that done for me? I want you to spend X amount of time producing this definition of done. Don't do that. Come back to me when you've done that. That's how you stop your days from disappearing. That's how you stop your weeks from disappearing. We're now we have 14 days left. Might be 13 actually. Of Q1 in 2026. I don't know if I crossed that out yesterday. What's the day? 18. 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 days left. First quarter, 2026. How you tracking? Where has your time gone? What has your ROTS been? Return on time spent. Definition of done is spend 50 minutes on Nate Herc's, watching Nate Herc's video on YouTube. What must be done, exist, is I have spent 50 minutes watching Nate, N-A-T-E, Herc's, H-E-R-K-S, video on YouTube. That is the action. He's getting specific with me. What are you actually supposed to be doing? Now he stays debrief. Right, this is all going to get wiped out of the process when we get across to Claude, which will probably be, don't know that we'll run Claude on here next week, but it'll be before the end of the month. Before here. By then, write that on there right now. So we've got a milestone locked in. Claude live. Oh. That's it. Another ORCA done. Day 115. What Claude's also done is gone back. Remember I said to you it goes and reads the transcript for the videos. It's gone and read the transcript of every live that I've done. Just got to do it yesterday. And I'll show you very soon on one of the weekend posts why that is so powerful. Have you run ORCA with your project team yet? Yes or no? You've either done it or you haven't. Take it, use it, make it a great week. Speak again tomorrow. There are 4 metrics that we're going to measure, which are going to give us a health check on our project. Project manager should be able to go to this and look at it. This is the thinking behind the way that I built this, is 1% of a 24-hour day is 14.4 minutes. So if we eliminate all of the waste, you'll need to come back to the screen back here. We eliminate all of the waste, the 90% of waste that is in his day or is in the process of trying to mitigate the 12 causes of project failure and drive the 9 rules of project flow. We get rid of a lot of that. He should be able to, in 14.4 minutes a day, he can go to back to here, look at his Trello board, look at his TAC plan, review the metrics for full kit, engagement, handoffs and constraints, and have an exceptional idea exactly where his project fits and where it's tracking on those things within 15 minutes, 1% of the day, of a 24-hour day, 14.4 minutes. He should be across everything.